book dragons. I'm here to do a weekend reading vlog. I don't know how long this reading vlog is going to go, but I'm going to call it weekend because we're also heading to the very end of the month, and I literally just reset my TBR cart, so I have a couple of random things that I want to read, and I'm actually on a blog tour that I totally forgot about. So we're going to do a fantasy reading vlog where we just read fantasies in every genre that I read. So it's going to be adult, a graphic novel, middle grade, and a young adult. And yeah, I'm excited. I was going to do a different reading vlog this weekend, but I think this is the one that's going to win. So the first book I have to read, because I am on a blog tour for it, is The Dragon Head. And I don't know much of the old Dragon Head is what I want is what I'm gonna read. I don't know anything about it. I'm on a blog tour for it, and I would like to finish it in a timely fashion. It's not super long, so I think I should be able to read it. But yeah, so that's the thing. I literally haven't read anything. I'm gonna bring this to yoga when I go do yoga, so I'll be able to give you guys more of an update when I come back. Also, my graphic novel that I'm gonna read is The Moth Keeper by Kay O'Neill. I'm on a blog tour for this, so I do need to get it read. And she is the same author that wrote the Tea Dragon Society series. I got this at Comic-Con, and it was on the, I am on a blog tour later. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one as well. I really liked her Tea Dragon Society series. And then for middle grade, I'm going to read Seekers of the Wild Realm, Legend of the Realm by Alexandra Ott. This was supposed to be on my TBR, but then I put something else in it, in fact, so I didn't wind up reading it. But I'm going to read this now. It's super short. It's just under 300 pages, so this will be a good read. And then I can wrap up another series on my series tracker, which is really exciting. And then the YA book I'm going to read is Hotel Magnifique by Emily J. Taylor. This has to do with time travel. I think it's about a house that these two characters go to. And they have to kind of solve the problem. So yeah, I'm excited to read these three. It's very exciting. But yeah, I'm definitely going to start with the adult book and see how far I can get. I have to leave to go to yoga in a little bit, and I'm listening to another book that's not for this vlog. It's for something else that I'm just doing. But yeah, so when I come back, I also want to do some diamond painting today, and I want to pick up like an audiobook that's going to make me fly through it. So I don't know what that's going to be. It might be something for this. It might be something for another vlog I'm reading. We'll see. I have like 3 different vlogs going on right now, which is more of a me problem, less of a you problem. But yeah, so yeah, I'm going to go start The Dragon Head, catch up on what 4 Paws in a Book is reading, and I might start Miss Marvel today as well. I'm in the middle of watching that. But yeah, alright, I'm gonna go read, and I'll update you guys when I can. Bye, book dragons. Friends, I just want to give you a quick update. I am about 34% into, about 100 pages into The Old Dragon Head. I will admit, I'm liking it. It's definitely a very different type of fantasy book for me. It's set in like ancient China. It's very history heavy, like very history heavy, and that's not always like my chosen genre. Like, I like fantasy, but if it's very history and like very, very history focused, and I'm not listening to it, and this isn't available as an audio, I think I enjoy them a little bit less. But it's only 300 pages, so I'm probably gonna push through and just see how I feel about it. But I will say it's definitely not it's not like my favorite book of all time. I'll say that because I just think it's a little bit history heavy. There's a lot of characters, and there's really no, there's like been a murder, there's been like a mistaken identity plot, but there's not enough pacing wise to sort of push me through the book. And then I did want to say that I am listening to Highly Suspicious and Fairly Cute, which I'm really liking. So I'm going to try to finish this book, and then I think I'm going to craft for a little bit and try to get through Highly Suspicious and Fairly Cute. I probably won't talk about this in this reading, but I'll talk about it in another one. But yeah, that's where we are. I have said this before, and I keep saying it. I really do sometimes struggle with adult fantasy because the books I don't love them when I pick them up, and this is definitely one of those books that I just think it's not a me thing. Like, it's probably a me thing. I'm just struggling with the pace. I'm struggling with the focus on the history elements of it. But I do want to give the author a solid review. So I'm going to finish reading it, and I'm going to read another 100 pages, and then I'll give you another update. So when that happens, right now it's about 2:05. I have to take the puppy for a walk at some point, and I do want to craft at some point today. And I do want to make some progress on Miss Marvel too. So I'm gonna go do all those things, read another 100 pages. I'll give you guys an update. So, bye book dragons. Hey friends, I'm back with a few updates for you. I did wind up finishing the old dragon head. I'm gonna attach a photo somewhere in this vlog and just show you guys what it looks like. I don't think I was the audience for this. It was very much a military fantasy with like a Chinese setting, and I think it was very well researched. I will say that. I think like it was a good book. I just don't think I was the target audience for it, and I just felt like the history was really good, but I just wish it was written by someone of that background and of that culture, because it wasn't. It's just my opinion. I like to read books about cultures that are done by people in those cultures. It's just a personal preference, but it was good. I liked it. I think it was military fantasy, and that's not always my favorite. That's why I like sort of just read it to read it. I didn't really update you guys all that much. I might add like another adult book to the end of this vlog if I have time. But the next thing I'm gonna read for this vlog is The Moth Keeper by Kay O'Neill. It comes out in March. I'm on a blog tour. It's super short, so I should be able to read it pretty quickly. And yeah, I don't even know what this is about, to be very honest with you. I think Moth Keeper is a great honor. That's all I know. So I'm gonna go read this, and then I'll update you guys when I have more updates. Hopefully I'll be able to finish this tonight. I also finished watching Miss Marvel, which I really loved. I really like that show quite a bit, and now I'm watching Only Murders in the Building season 2, and now I have to go update my other vlog, which I'm talking about contemporary romances, so I go do that. Friends, I'm back. It is Sunday morning, and I just want to say that early this morning, late last night really, I finished The Moth Keeper by Katie O'Neill. This is the same author that wrote the Tea Dragon Society series. I really like this book. I would give it 3.5 stars. I think 4. I think it did deal with a lot of like harder topics. Like you basically follow this main character, and Anya finally becomes the Moth Keeper. And because she lives in a very dark environment, the moths kind of keep everything going, and she is given a very important job. And when you sort of see her throughout the whole book, she's sort of dealing with burnout and like overdoing it. And I think that that's a conversation that we have all become very prevalent and familiar with over the past couple of years due to the pandemic. But yeah, it was great. I do really like the art style. It definitely gives me Tea Dragon Society vibes. Tea Dragon Society had a lot of like romantic elements. There are some side characters that are LGBTQ+, but the main romance in this is more of a friendship, which I really enjoyed. And I do say that there is a lot of like worded panels, which for me sometimes confuses me a little bit, but I really liked it, and I gave it 3.5 stars. I'm on a blog tour for this. It comes out in March. I got this at New York City Comic Con. But yeah, I really liked it. I think that it's a very, very sweet story that deals with some harder topics. So yeah, I'm done with this. I am hopefully today on my runs, I'm going to finish the book I'm listening to, which is a contemporary. But I'm going to pick up Seekers of the Realm, Legend of the Realm by Alexandra Ott. I think this is the final book in the series. This was one I actually had on my TBR, and I didn't think I was going to read it, but I am going to pick it up. And this has a few animal main characters, and the one is Seeker of the Realm. So I'm gonna go give this a shot because I was looking through the series I was in the middle of at like the end of last year, and this is one that currently is just a duology, so I think I can wrap it up. It's also not that long. It's just, let me just make sure that there is not another book. Yeah, so this is just a duology for the moment. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna go read about 50 pages of this, and when I come back from yoga, I'll give you guys an update. Bye, book dragons. Hey, book dragons. I actually have a couple of updates for you. So first, I want to say that it is like almost 7:30 at night, but I did wind up reading 100 pages of Seeker of the World, Legend of the Realm by Alexandra Ott, and I'm really liking this book quite a bit. I did a lot today. Like I was editing, I ran some errands, I went to yoga, I listened to another book, I started another audiobook, so this got a little bit by the wayside, but Sunday's more of my relaxing day and sort of prepping for the week, but I am liking this quite a bit. So this is the second book in the series. So the first book was Bryn and Ari becoming seekers, and I remember in the first book there was a lot of like sexism about it because she was a girl and she sort of went around becoming a seeker because her dad's a seeker in a very, very roundabout way, and you sort of see the after effects of this in book 2 because like they're very like, not happy she's a seeker, and they're very, very mean to her, and they really prefer Ari to do all the important stuff, and they kind of give Ari a lot of credit, and Bryn's not happy about that, obviously. But you start this book off with they're basically on a probation period to sort of go into this, to the realm, which has a lot of magical creatures, and they go there by themselves, and they get into a little bit of trouble, but they find a animal that's really, really sick, that has a plague that many, many years ago kind of decimated the whole population, and what they're choosing to do, what they did last time, was to quarantine the animals, and then the animals died because they have no way of healing them, because the way that they heal in this world is they heal with magic, and you can't do that because this illness kind of sucks the magic out of them. So the more magic you are, the more likely you are to die faster. So Bryn does not like their quarantining the animals. So that's her whole plot. But I'm really liking it. It's fun. I really when I find a good middle grade series, I really do enjoy it. So I'm about 100 pages in. This is only like I think it's a little bit over I think it's just 200 pages. So I just got to page 100. I'm going to try to read a little bit more before I go to bed tonight. I also am watching Murders in the Building. I got to watch 4 episodes, which is why I'm taking a little bit slower. But yeah, so my goal is to read another 100 pages before I go to bed tonight. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it's like 7:39. I could do it. I don't know if I am going to do it, but if I get up to page 200, I will update you guys before I go to bed. I would still love to read this early in the week, but I'm just so bad at updating you guys like during the week, just because my life's a little bit crazy during the week. But I am going to try to be better at that. And I have another vlog I'm doing where I'm reading contemporary books, and that's where my other book that I finished today will go in. But yeah, that's where we are. So I read 100 pages of this. It's fun. It's quick. It took me a little bit to get into it, but again, it's been a bit since I read book 1, and I'm trying to get better at reading sequels. So I'm going to go try to read another 100 pages of this tonight, and if I do get up to page 200, I will give you guys an update. I'm reading it super quick. The font's pretty big as well, and it's a middle grade, so yeah, I will update you guys when I can. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Hey Book Dragons, I'm back for my other vlog, which I'm filming, which is all about contemporary and romances for the YA set. So I did wind up finishing Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute. My book is over there. I should have got it, but I didn't. I really like this book. It was fun. I've never read anything by Talia Hibbert before, but oh my god, it was really, really enjoyable. I'm going to talk more about it in my wrap-up, but just know it was a really, really fun read. You basically follow these 2 characters, and it's my favorite trope of all time, which is friends to enemies to more. And I love that trope because I think it just gives you so much history for these characters, and it kind of combines what I love about hate to more, but also like the friends elements too. So it's a really, really fun read. It also has a really, really fun wilderness setting in it, which I'm liking. It gave me like Starry-Eyed vibes by Jen Bennett. And it's just a fun read. I really like the characters a lot. I think they're really unique and really different. I love that it's British. Like I love when people read me stories. It's so funny. I started reading an autobiography that's read by a British person, and I just love when they read me stories. The one thing I liked about this was Brad, the main character, does have a lot of like mental health issues, so he's dealing with that, but his head didn't feel like as tense to me as normal. Normally when I listen to books with someone that, or even read books of someone that's dealing with a lot of mental health issues, I get super tense and super anxious, but that wasn't the case with Brad. I liked how Talia Hibbert handled that. I really, really enjoyed it. I haven't put it in my spreadsheet yet, but it's probably going to be like 4.5 stars. I really liked it. So yeah, for the next book for this vlog that you're going to see me reading is Begin Again by Emma Lord. I don't know when I'm going to pick that one up because I'm in the middle of like a couple of other things, but the next clip you will see me talking about that, and I will talk to you guys for that book. Bye, Book Dragons. Hey friends, I just want to do a quick update. I actually just got home from work. Well, I actually got home from work a while ago. It's like almost 8 o'clock. But I did wind up working out. I actually had a pretty good day at work. Monday was sort of my easiest day. It's less busy. I didn't get as much stuff done as I wanted show-wise, but I did get work done, so that's good. I started prepping my prop and costume list, which is the funnest part of doing a show, honestly, because it's the funnest, and it's also like sometimes the most like overwhelming because you see all the problems you have to solve in a show. So that's sort of where we are. But I do want to give you a bit of a reading update. I am reading 2 audiobooks right now that don't really correspond to this vlog. I want to mention, and they're going to be featured probably in my February wrap up. So But I did want to say that I did wind up reading to page 246, basically 250 in Secrets of the Wild Realm, Legend of the Realm. I really am liking this book. I think this book definitely, I don't know when this book was published. Let me look. When was this book published? This book was published in 2021. So I will say it does have a pretty big, like, pandemic plot. I will say that. And again, it may have just been happenstance. I will say that. But there is like a pretty big like illness plot, so if that is sensitive to you, maybe don't pick up this book. Really like book 1, but basically there is a contagion and there's a virus that is affecting all the animals, and Bryn and her partners and the Seekers of the Wild Realm need to sort of save these animals. But at the start of this thing, this plague, a very similar plague had happened many years before, and they sort of didn't have a response to it. They just sort of let the animals die, and Bryn is like really adamant against that. But she's also dealing with a lot of like sexism and like a lot of like hatred towards her, or like the people like of her superiors don't really believe she belongs there. So she's dealing with a lot of that, and I think she's making some really like reckless choices. But again, I really am liking it. Like, it's very fun. It's a very quick read. I have to get to page like 292, which I think is definitely doable. So I'm gonna go finish the rest of this, and then I'm gonna give you guys my final thoughts on this. And eventually, I am gonna come back to this reading vlog, but I have to read something for like another thing. I have to read like a book that I didn't buy, and for something else. So that will be in a different reading vlog. But I'm gonna go read the last like 40 pages of this, and then I'll give you guys my thoughts. But so far, I'm really liking it. It's fun. I think it's probably gonna be like a 3.5-star read. I think this book definitely like dealt with the pandemic element in a really interesting way, and we got to meet some new characters. Like, we got to meet a griffin pup, we got to meet an ice fox, and obviously a dragon. So yeah, I really liked it. If you like Fablehaven, and you want sort of a shorter series, I recommend you check this one out, and I will try to do a recommendation video and include this in. My goal for this year is to do some more recommendations for you all. So if you guys have any like topics that you would like to see me do bookish recommendations for, let me know. I read a majority of middle grade YA and adult. So tell me what summer recommendations you would like to see me do, and I will try to get that together for you all. But yeah, back to reading I go. Bye, book dragons. So time got a little bit away from me, and I don't think I'm going to be able to read Hotel Magnifique this weekend because I do want to post this reading vlog. So I'm going to wrap it up with Seekers of the Wild Realm, Legend of the Realm by Alexandra Ott. I gave this book 4 stars for review. I found it really fun. Definitely has a pretty severe pandemic plot, but overall I really enjoyed it. I think that it had a lot of elements that just were fun. Very action adventure focused, some really cute animals. I also gave The Moth Keeper 4 stars, and I gave The Dragonhead 3 stars for review. So I didn't exactly fulfill my mission, but I did read 3 fantasy-led stories, which was the point. I will get around to Hotel Magnifique at some point, just not today. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what are some books you've read recently, and what are some book recommendations you would like to see me do in 2023. I would love to know, and I'll talk to you guys soon for my next video. Bye, book dragons.